Yeah.
Well, Marty, what do you think?
Well, look, I've got a few things that I've written down here. I think that's the best Hurricanes side ever. And we're just sitting here at the press conference waiting for the Hurricanes to join us. And I think when I say it's the best Hurricanes side ever, I think over a season.
Yeah.
Because this is a side that finished 11-3. The first two finals games, they put on 100 and something points against opposition. They've just belted the side. And we mentioned this at the very start when John O'Gibbs and Luke Jacobson here. This is no mug Chiefs side. Let's make that point really clear. This is a Chiefs side that Hurricanes coming in
and
now.
the Hurricanes
Great.
are coming in right now.
They walk in the door. 11-3. This is a Chiefs side that finished second in the table. And, for a reason, because they're a good side. And they've just been absolutely pantsed.
Yeah. Well, we've got Clark Laidlaw, I presume, and who else is coming in? Would be Jordie Barrett. They should be.
And maybe a champagne shower. If I'm them, I'm coming here into the media thing and I'm just spraying everything.
They're big fans.
Yeah, so they might as well celebrate. Well, apart from the camera people, obviously, because I don't.
They've just obviously had a very well-deserved lap of honour outside. We've seen the families and everyone coming in. It's a bit chaotic out there.
30
Love
minutes
to show it
after
to
the
you.
game at the moment. Okay, we're sitting here. And for the Chiefs from here, how can they avoid the handle of the Buffalo Bills of Super Rugby?
Well, they can't because they've just
done. Look, and it's not being smart by saying that they've lost 4 in a row.
Yeah,
and I think they're the only other professional.
And I feel like it's got increasingly worse as we've gone on, and they've actually matched the Buffalo Bills because wasn't it their last Super Bowl one getting absolutely touched up by the Cowboys? It's a very similar scoreline.
It was hard to get a reaction out of Luke Jacobson here. It's understandable. I mean, he's obviously shell-shocked, and so they should be, because I think we all are. We're still sitting here a bit stunned.
Here we go. We better vacate the.
They're coming.
The seat. Yep.
Alrighty, let's get out of here.
All right.
Keep
that on. Yep.
Keep it on. Here they come.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, do.
We start off by saying
just straight into it, are we? Yeah, here you go then.
With all three of you, that asked the first question to the Chiefs guys, to Luke and to Jono, who were sitting here. Are you guys most shell shocked by that performance, by that scoreline?
Yep. Yeah, we wouldn't have dreamt of being able to win a final by 60. And I think sometimes rugby's a funny game, isn't it? Like in the first half, it felt like everything went our way and little bounces of the ball and gusts of wind. But I also thought the men were exceptional around taking their opportunities and building the game how we wanted to build it. There was a lot of what we trained came off tonight. So, but yeah, if you'd said we would win like that, we would probably doubted you.
At what stage did you guys on the field, did you actually think, this is it, we've done this?
29-0 half time, and then the kick there was meant to go over halfway and went behind us, and they were on our goal line, and luckily we got a turnover at that stage. Who knows, 29-7 with a bit of wind, the game's still open, but we held our line like we did all night. Got the ball back up around halfway, and we're ambitious with the ball, and it's a testament to the coaching group. We've been unbelievably coached this year around, backing what we've got, but that's been built since November to give ourselves confidence to do that on a night like this. So it's pretty special.
You've been talking after the end of the game, but I just love watching you where you've spoken and you've talked about the physical commitment needed and putting shoulders and putting bodies on the line. And this is the culmination of a season where you guys have just played such amazing rugby all season. Is this the best Hurricane side that has ever played in Super Rugby?
It's not really for us to decide that one. But we're definitely the best team in the comp this year.
I mean, when you look back at the season, I mean, it's just been pretty impressive.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, and I guess you referenced the hard work and commitment we've put into being better both sides of the ball. Yes, historically, Hurricanes have always been able to score tries. But this year, we've shown that we can win games with our shoulders, which is extremely pleasing. Because it takes a lot of hard work to get your team into into a position where defense is a massive, not just a strength but a weapon. And a lot of our game has been built on the back of pressure and opportunities created by defending well, which comes back to amazing coaches, amazing detail. Corey James a wizard, so a massive note to him.
You obviously spoke a lot about the whole group spoken about the hurt this group has, given the season's gone past. Where does this win,
Yeah, it's probably at the top, I would imagine. I was here in 2015 when we lost the final, and we'd been the best team that year. We only lost 2 games, finished top. 2 years ago, we lost 2 games, finished top. So probably the part I'm more proud of is the consistency. Everybody challenges us around their consistency. But 2 of the 3 years we've finished, minor premiers. And yeah, it was nice to go on and play our best rugby in the playoffs. I think that's the thing that once we start reflecting over the next few days, to play your best rugby when it really matters, I guess shows the belief that the men have got in the systems and structures, the belief they've got in each other, because that's what it takes in the back end of a season.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Took 125 games for me, so it's pretty special. I'm on iPhones all week. Memories have been popping up from end of year celebrations and being in reviews and basically not being in a final. So to see I's first Super Rugby final and to get what we wanted was unbelievable, and it's been one of the slowest weeks of my rugby career, and in some ways I knew this group had that sort of game in them. Just a matter of bringing it in. We got a bit of luck tonight, but we also put ourselves in a position to earn the right to.
Yeah, he's really starting to grow into his own as a first 5, isn't he? Sort of maturing nicely, starting to really make good decisions. And yeah, I think the pleasing part, maybe the middle part of the season, he was thinking about game management a wee bit too much, around thinking what we might want the team to look like versus just playing. So he feels like he's got that little balance now around understanding to pull trigger, and if we need to kick or slow down or lose momentum, go different ways, feels like he's really starting to understand that. So a couple of weeks ago he picked up a calf niggle, wasn't sure if he was going to be able to play the semi, and he didn't train all week, so to be able to put those performances together shows again that sort of maturity and resilience he's starting to build.
It's definitely a dream come true for us. We grew up in Taranaki, as everyone knows, which is part of the Hurricanes region until year 13 where we switched, but it was always a Hurricanes poster on our wall, or Hurricanes under 16s or under 18s team that we were trying to get to, and especially the early parts of our career we were doing that together. And I guess to grow over the years and just watch each other improve and lead and grow and be able to do it together tonight is pretty special. Like, there's no two ways about it. To grow up together leading Francis Douglas Memorial College and to now be leading this amazing team to a Super Rugby Championship is definitely something we'll both be looking back on fondly.
There's a lot of things, I guess, emotional things that could have tripped you guys up this week. A lot of people leaving the team. I know that's the right time to strike in terms of the time, the human trials for the season, the history behind it, all that sort of stuff. How did you manage to, I guess, push all that stuff aside and just produce such a performance that gets into your peak run?
Davey Gray and Clark have done an amazing job every single Monday of just bringing the team back to zero, whether we've won or we've lost, and just trying to stay nice and level, planning our weeks. Some of those things you just talked about, we wrote down this week, some traps, some opportunities, what we're going to bring this week, and each individual in the squad from 1 to, 51 people now, took accountability around their own week, and it doesn't guarantee a performance, but it goes a long way towards it. And yeah, we've been shaped unbelievably every single week this year by our coaches and management.
I think Pacific's a lot of units first year was so right. How was it your experience of so much happening?
Pretty
Yeah,
cool.
I can go. But yeah, it was unreal. The energy that the men took, when you come in from the warm up, half time, when we got on top, when we were defending. So yeah, we want to unite and excite our fans. That's our vision as a club. We want people to come and watch us play. We want people around the world to watch us on TV around how we want to try and play the game. And these fellas have delivered a performance tonight that truly united and excited our fans.
Clark, do you think that a lot of your players are going to be rewarded now on Monday because of this? If this was an effective All Black trial, you can't really get any better for so many people that played it.
I don't know. I'd have to ask Dave Rennie, I guess. But yeah, I mean, they've done everything they can around the performance for the Hurricanes. It'll depend how Rennes wants to play the game and what he's looking for in each individual. But we've certainly got a lot of good players that are playing some of their best rugby. So yeah, I'm sure the selection will go some of the boys' way. And the Maori All Blacks are off on Tuesday, I think it is, to Japan also. So there'll be a few boys in there. But I'm not really going to think about that too much. I'm being brutally honest. I'm going to enjoy the next few days.
Well, you just coming through a bit low. You obviously see him a lot at 12 and he's going to 10. How's he grown this year to be the kind of player we're going to Super Rugby player we're going to play with?
Yeah, it's pretty cool, and he has evolved since January when he come back in, and he's a guy there with so much talent. And like Clark said, in some ways, game management can handcuff players, but it's also a bit of a gift and an art that teams learn and evolve throughout their career. So there's been games where this year he's learnt a lot about himself. The team's learnt a lot from our 10s and game drivers, and he's massively supported on the inside with his 9s, his 10s, and Alfie, Holland and Clark, and just setting him up every week to get what this team needs. And we feel there's so much talent in this group. It's actually just about giving him the opportunity to unlock everyone else in the team. He's unbelievable. Not until you sit in the stands, you can probably appreciate what Billy does on a rugby field every week. And a close lens on Sky probably doesn't see what he does. And he's an unbelievable man, so humble, so hardworking. And it's a real honour to have him outside me. It gives me a lot of trust and belief in my own game. And he was awesome tonight. And Matty was outstanding as a player too.
Yeah, he's an incredible player. I was lucky enough to work with his brother. They're both amazing men, just like real Wellington men, passionate around playing for this team and playing for Wellington. And as Jordie says, the work Billy does off the ball, the work he covers for other players and makes difficult situations into safer or better. He'd be an amazing player to play next to for sure.
Question, mate. I would say so. The common denominator in teams where we've been successful, doesn't matter whether it's provincial club rugby, Mitre 10 Cup, and now obviously Super Rugby, is just the belief and the trust within that team and each other. Each of the teams that I've won with at varying levels have just had the utmost belief in each other's ability to do what needs to be done. And it's no different in our environment this year. Huge trust to do what needs to be done, but also to get better and be honest with each other along the way. So, I don't think that changes how high you go.
Can you try and put into words, I guess, the feeling of when that full-time whistle went? We didn't really hear it, but when everyone runs on the field, it's like when you're doing
Just stoked. yeah, we did it. Jordie said it's taken us over 100 games to achieve. Definitely feels that way. But yeah, in some ways, I feel like that was a very hard-earned championship, not just this season, but for a few seasons now. But we deserve that one after the way we've gone about our work over the last couple of years. Just proud as.
Cheers, Tim.
Thank you.
Yeah, mate. Was that, so in terms of how many the Barrett boys have all won, so brother still you still got it.
I'm just happy I've got one.
Yeah, now you got one to wave back, have you?
Yeah.
Brilliant, mate.
Yeah.
See ya.
Thank you.
Awesome. I guess we're still rolling. Okay. So we'll sit here and we'll chat away about what we've just learned and what we've just absorbed. You've seen the press conference there, and we're live here at Henry Stadium in Wellington. And I just want to give you 5 or 6 takes immediately after this. And when you sit here and you've watched a game like that, and you've witnessed the performance like that, it's almost hard to assess this performance, given it was just such a comprehensive toweling. That was biblical proportions. That was a butt spanking that Sodom and Gomorrah would be proud of. Some of the things that I've written down here, you know, I had a perfect first half of rugby for the Hurricanes. From after 54 minutes, it was 48-0. It was perfect up until probably 70 minutes. And look, the players acknowledged, Jamie, that yeah, there were mistakes along the way, but overall, it was one-way traffic. I'll run them through you, then we'll discuss them. Here comes the handle, the Buffalo Bills of Super Rugby for the Chiefs. They can't avoid that now. I think that the Hurricanes have to be considered also one of the world's best franchise rugby sides right now. And if you put that side playing like that up against Leinster, or playing against those top French sides, playing against the top English Premiership sides, I don't know how you can not say that they wouldn't at least be really competitive and be the equal of those teams. Look, a couple of other bits. As a Hurricanes fan, that was the most relaxing game you could ever watch.
Oh my God.
It was just incredible. There was just no tension in the air at all. Morby and Fihi, 17 tries each.
Yeah.
So they're both at the top of the leaderboard now for most in the season. I think on the evidence right now tonight, if you were selecting the All Blacks to play against France this coming Saturday, then your first 5 is Ruben Love.
Yeah.
He just has to be on form. And I think all the Hurricanes players on the fringe must have now enhanced, in Dave Rennie's eyes, their selection chances for Monday. I'm not saying that they're all going to get in, but if you're a guy like Josh Morby and you're looking at another fullback, how can you not select that guy? So let's just start at the top, Jamie, where this was just a result that no one was expecting, apart from Ross Carl, who said it was going to be 50 points.
I have to go back to Thursday when we had Ross join us on the show, and he was the only one, and I think it's because he's come in from a completely objective point of view and said the way the Hurricanes are playing, they can put 50 on the sheet, and that's exactly what they did. Yeah. And we just saw a comment coming up, but I didn't quite see who got it, but it's a great point, saying the Canes have put 50 on anyone.
That was the 8th time this year that the Hurricanes have whacked the team by 50 points, and I'm pretty sure it's a 150 or 160 points in the 3 playoff games.
You're right. You know, keep talking.
And look, it might even be more. I think it was 123 before tonight, which takes up to 100. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Look, that's not beating. I keep saying the chump side that finished 6th. This is actually beating the team that finished 2nd and won 11 games, and then a couple of playoff games of their own. So, is it the best Hurricane side ever? I put that question to the press conference, and of course the players are going to deflect that and say it's up to somebody else to discuss. But I think it's up to all of us to discuss now, isn't it?
I mean, you are talking about a franchise that's had some pretty storied names.
Yeah, but they didn't win, and they didn't win like this.
No, but I mean, on paper, I would say, you know, you're talking about, this is a franchise that had Christian Cullen, Jonah Lomu, Tana Umaga, Marnonu, Conrad Smith.
Fantastic
come
names.
through it. But this is
Norm
the one
Stewart.
that won it. And did it and
yeah,
and did it in such emphatic fashion as well. And the 2016 team, as well. You know, it was funny because we were talking about it before, but if you look at that 2016 team on paper, it was a real ragtag bunch of individuals, wasn't it? It was, apart from TJ, Bowden, Artie, and the other loose forwards, Victor Vito, Brad Shields, a lot of those guys you'd put in the journeyman category. This is a team starts right now. This is a couple of guys who probably played their way into the All Blacks. You mentioned the All Blacks tonight.
Yeah, and look, and obviously they're going to deflect it because that happens on Monday, and I understand it, look, and also they're going to want to enjoy this moment. But it's something that the rest of us are going to build that bridge towards, aren't we? And we're looking at guys like Fehe, and we're looking at guys like Josh Morby, and we're especially looking at Ruben Love, who we have to talk about right now. That there was a moment there where he scored his second try, where he did the big dive into the corner, the Superman cape almost came out of his back, and you're sitting there looking at a guy playing with the utmost confidence. Now, this wind wasn't easy tonight. It was swirling around all over the place. And a lot of people around us were saying, how much is that wind worth in the first half? Is it worth 20 points? Is it worth... Well, in the end, they scored more points in the second half playing against it, if there was such a thing, because the way it was moving. He kicks a goal from halfway, right at the end of the first half to just nut punch the Chiefs. And then he scores a couple of tries and he brings it to the crowd and loves it. Look, here's a guy that the one thing we wanted to see him do was to execute with confidence at the highest level when the pressure's on. Did he not just do that?
I think he absolutely did. And I think that, there's going to be a lot of chat about his performance, the performance of Damien McKenzie as well, especially in that sort of crucial first 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And the contrasting outcomes of both those. Just another comment coming in from Sam, I believe it was. Got to give Billy Proctor his dues.
Oh, look, I wrote this one down because Jordie Barrett spoke up about him right at the end there. And it's a really subtle quote. He said, the lens that you get on Sky Sport doesn't show him in his full light. He said, you've got to come to a stadium and watch Billy Proctor play to understand what he does on a rugby field. And that was him putting in a word for his mate as well in terms, I believe, of All Black selection and just pointing out that, hang on a second, don't forget about this guy.
This is a guy who played most of the season last year. And obviously, Super Rugby is different to Test Rugby. But there's a reason why the Hurricanes have been obviously scoring a lot of points this season. There's also another reason why they've been conceding the least as well. I think it's about 19 a game, restricting to a Chiefs team that smacked up the Crusaders last week to 5 points.
That's right. Yeah.
Over 80 minutes. I mean,
and look, this has got to be one of the finals, I think, that's going to be looked back in terms of Super Rugby. In 30 years of Super Rugby, that is one of those finals. The Bulls did this to the Chiefs way back in 2011, I think it was, or something like that, and put 60 on them. The Crusaders did a number on New South Wales once and put 80 or 90 points, it might have been on them. This is one of those finals. Well, this was so comprehensive.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Sorry, Chiefs fans, if you're still watching, but you now own the record for the 2 worst finals losses.
And how do you explain it? How do you explain that from a side that came here that was full of confidence, full of All Blacks, and really competitive? As I said, I keep saying they're not a chump change side. This side, the Chiefs.
I think they played their final last week. To be perfectly honest with you, I think that the effort that got put in that first 40 minutes, and I think looking back on it now, how they kind of eased off in the second 40 and let the Crusaders at least sort of claw back a bit of respectability in that game. Perhaps they should have really kept the foot on the throat and kept going there and taken that momentum into this week.
So we look at Fehe and we look at Morby and those two players, and we don't know what the story of Fehe's contract is, but can you see both of those names being named on Monday? I would be stunned now if either of those guys misses out, because if you're looking at fullbacks, and I suppose the selection question we've had all week has been about Bowden Barrett. Does he get named at 15? Josh Morby playing with that kind of confidence as well, and playing with a bunch of guys next to him that are playing with that much confidence, and I expect a lot of those guys to be named. Is it one of those domino effects that his domino will fall like the rest of them will?
Well, I've always just been a firm believer in you pick the guys who have scored the most tries in Super Rugby and you put them in the All Blacks. And that's both of them were on the same team out there tonight. Josh Morby, really interesting story if he does, because he's a guy who's done it a very
he's gone the back to front way, hasn't he? Because he went to France, didn't really work, came back, as opposed to a lot of talk all year about all our players leaving. And
I'd love to know what happened over in France that made him just turn around and come straight back, and ended up having a fantastic, All Black, perhaps, call-up season.
I don't know whether you can hear what is going on behind us. These are concrete block walls here, but you can kind of hear there's celebrations going on behind us. I presume that's where the Hurricanes changing room is. That's where the families are.
It is. There's a big party happening right behind us. I'm just going to chuck it out there. Are we going to be allowed to go in and join them? Well, we'll just see. We've got Luke Robinson from TVNZ patiently waiting to see if we can go and join, perhaps walk in there.
Next
I
door.
know the Blues let us do it a couple of years ago, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. But just back on the result, and you said that it was a Hurricanes game that we've never experienced before, have we?
No.
Because it was so relaxed in that second half.
No, and we've been joking about it. When I flew down this morning, the first approach to the airport, the wheels hit the tarmac, and then it went bounced, and then away we went, and we came back around for a second run, and I thought, I hope this isn't an omen. And when you're born and bred in the Wellington region and you're a Hurricanes fan, the idea that you're favourites, that you've had such a comprehensive season, that you're spanking teams by 50 points, you put all of these together, and when you add up, you go, is that the recipe for another disappointment right at the end? But this team, when you look back at it now, and you can look holistically at that season, look, apart from the game in Hamilton, where for the last 10 minutes, lost control of the game, okay, the performance against the Drua was one of those second halves of rugby where they just couldn't play to the conditions. Apart from that, going down to the Crusaders country with a team that obviously wasn't the A team, this side has just been all encompassing all season, haven't they? They haven't. There hasn't been a bum game, and they've been scoring for fun every single week, and they did it again tonight in a final.
And also, I guess they've peaked at the right end of the season as well, because it's not like they were bad at the start, but it's just like they've gotten better and better throughout these playoffs. I know we're just fully glazing the Hurricanes, but it's pretty hard not to when they've just won the final by 55 points. Like I said, record. Unfortunately, I mean, I want to give a shout out to a guy, pretty unheralded guy in a star-studded, otherwise star-studded Hurricanes forward pack, Isaiah Walker-Leawere. For me, I give him man of the match. To be really honest, he was just in everything. That you talk about the physicality across the park. He absolutely showed it. He's got a bit of a reputation as someone who's a bit of a liability in terms of like penalties and things. Absolutely held his discipline in check tonight and made a real difference backing up Warner Dearns, who made some big plays himself. I mean, it's hard to really pick a Hurricanes man of the match, but just as a guy who didn't have that kind of big buzz around him going in that like the game was going to go hinge on his performance, and also that he was replacing the informed Caleb Delaney as well. I'd just like to give him a big shout out, but really like just across the park. It's hard to.
How do you then? Well, we've got a few more minutes here. How do you then assess those Chiefs players? Because if you're looking at that being an All Black trial and thinking, okay, the Hurricanes guys have all enhanced their reputations, I don't think you throw out a lot of those players, or they're in a position where that game defines whether or not they're going to get that All Black jersey. But in the first 4 minutes, and I made a note of this, Ratima has a kick charge down, McKenzie has a kick charge down. All of a sudden they're behind, they're on the back foot. Then Damien McKenzie makes a bit of a fluffer, but at his own end. He won't. None of them will look back at this fondly, but just under that load, under that pressure, how do you assess those Chiefs guys who were themselves trying to make an All Black claim?
Yeah, great question, because you would think that most of the All Black names would be sort of penned in by now, and it's not like
34 is not
it's
up
more
there waiting
about
for the end of the Super Rugby final, is it?
For me, it's more about where they fit into this first test lineup, and on the evidence of the last 4 weeks, yep, Damien McKenzie was outstanding last week, but he was unfortunately not tonight. Ruben Love didn't really have to do much other than sort of shovel the ball on and then make a big play at the end, score a big try.
But he had to. I disagree. He had to perform.
Yeah, for
at
sure.
his best
I'm not saying he didn't play.
when the occasion demanded.
But he had. In a comment just came in before. He had Cam Royard playing the lights out inside. He had Jordie Barrett playing the lights out outside of it. So this is more about, just for me, this is more about that combination, that 9-10-12 combination that we saw tonight, who were just absolutely outstanding. And put those guys in a black jersey, I feel like you have to.
Okay, so all season, the questions for Ruben Love have been the same, haven't they? Tick the box. Can he do it here? Can he do it over 3 games? Can he do it against the New Zealand Derby teams? Can he do it when the finals come? Can he do it when the final comes?
Yeah.
And he's, again, so we're sitting here saying on that evidence, he's obviously going to get a start for the All Blacks, and we don't know which test that is. But, at the end of this, all you can say is that Hurricanes team and the coaching team behind them, who have to get a lot of credit here now, Clark Laidlaw especially, Corey Jane, Jason Holland, who of course is going to the Blues next year.
Yes.
The combination of these guys, Big Whopper in there as well. And these guys have been around the Hurricanes coaching group a lot. And Clark Laidlaw made mention of this. It's not like this was their breakout season. Last year they were top of the table as well. The previous year finished first, got a semi-final and lost to the Chiefs. So this is a team that's actually lost and then been able to win. And I look at the Chiefs instead as a team that every year has been expected, and it's come to the final, and each year they haven't been able to do it. Yeah. I don't know how much that haunts players, whether it haunts them in an international rugby sense or whether it haunts them when it comes to Super Rugby. But the Chiefs as a franchise are going to take a crap load of time to get over this. How can you not when you get absolutely walloped like that, like tonight?
Yeah, I mean, they've already gone through a period of change with Jono Gibbs coming in, who, might I add, has been was really classy in his press conference.
From him at this press conference, and you'll see that.
And also a guy that, let's get one thing straight. He brought this team all the way here, and he did so by pulling off some massive results. So in terms of haunting them, this is going to make the beer taste pretty bad tonight. They've got a long time to get over this. And,
can we go in?
And it looks like we're about to go in. Okay, let's turn this around. Yep. Okay. We're in business.
Can we chat?
Where'd they go? What have we done? Where they go? Oh, yeah. Here we go.
All right. Okay, we're still live here, rolling. Going loose and la-la. Here we come in. All right. This is a real treat. This is a real privilege. This is.
See it. Yeah, got that. How you doing?
Holy shit. I'll come and see you, boys.
Yep. Yeah, take that.
This is crazy good. How good is this? Here you are, as everyone's getting into it and going, right there. Just enjoy this, people. Just enjoy it. Just enjoy what you're watching here. Come and sit.
Brad.
Hey, bro.
You all
good?
Yeah,
Good
congratulations,
to see you,
man. How you feeling?
Oh, stoked. I don't really know how to feel, to be honest,
You're
but
a two-time Super Rugby champion with the Hurricanes. You're the only man to do that. You know that?
I will get. There's a few coaches. CJ will be the one. He'll be like, no, I got two as well. Nah, it's pretty good, eh? And you brought your dad with you as well. How are you, mate? You alright? Hey, thanks for the support, man. Appreciate it, eh?
That's cool. That's it. I tell you what, that was the most relaxing game to watch as a Hurricanes fan I've ever watched, mate. And that's a
You've
fun.
been exciting.
Yeah, that's
Relaxing, exciting.
How's this season? I mean, this has been a season of excellence and excellence and excellence, hasn't it?
I think it just shows over the last few years what a good culture and a good environment Clarkie's driven and the whole club's driven, and Yeah, he saw tonight. It's the cream on top, so we're pretty stoked.
Hey, look at you, you got 2!
Yeah, not bad, eh?
That's
Not
so
bad.
cool, eh? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
not
good,
too.
man, eh?
Thank you, guys.
Can we have a little Charles on?
I think we'll go head back out and wrap it up.
Hello, mate. How you doing?
Marty.
Good to see you, boy, eh?
You too, yeah.
Congratulations. Congratulations, mate. Yes, man. Congratulations, mate. Hey. How good's this?
Yeah, good. Bloody good, yeah. I mean, to win like that, so it's pretty special, you know. It just epitomises the energy of these guys got in the group and as a whole. Well done, Brad. Bloody awesome.
You'll get out of your hair. I'll talk to you later, mate.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
Well done, mate. See ya. Thanks, mate. Let's wrap. Yeah, let's do that. I mean, okay, here we are. We're live. We've just come out of the dressing rooms. Obviously, that party's going to go on for a long time, as will the party in Wellington tonight go on for a long time. And what we've witnessed something really special here tonight. And you've got to pay credit to the Chiefs for their season, because they've actually had a hell of a season themselves. But this is all about the Hurricanes, and it has to be all about the Hurricanes, and it should be all about the Hurricanes. They have raised the bar here tonight, is what they've done, and they are thoroughly, undisputably 2026 Super Rugby champions.